Ladies and gentlemen, we have a very special episode of the Stanz Show today. We are getting back to our interviews, and we have none other than the man, Mr. YouTube streaming, Ludwig Ahgren, one of the first people to come on my podcast 6 times or so. He's a nice guy. He has got the bag, and he's going to tell us why and how he went from Twitch to YouTube and how he went from up-and-coming content creator to record-breaking live streamer. It's a great interview. You're going to love it. Let's get to it.
Hey,
how's it going, man?
Back to Esportsmanlike Conduct.
Okay, you know that's not what this show is, but that's okay.
Wow.
This is the Stanz Show. Why don't you just say it? Maybe give me a little promo.
That show, dude.
This
is, I feel like the spiritual successor.
It is definitely the spiritual successor.
This is League of Legends.
It's actually just the same. Oh, that's very kind of you. So you're saying that like Esportsmanlike Conduct was the original Dota, and I've kind of changed the game.
Well, you robbed them for everything they're worth. Slapped a new name on it, tried to delete the old Discord, pretend it never existed. What made it better?
I did do all that. You know, I just took the Twitter, like the Esportsmanlike
Did you?
Conduct. Oh yeah, the Twitter for the Stanz Show that has a few thousand followers is just the Esportsmanlike Conduct Twitter.
Oh, so wait, this is actually the greatest comparison of all time.
Oh yeah, it's just true. I just stole the show. Well, actually, I didn't steal the show. You know, I wanted to keep doing Esportsmanlike Conduct.
No, hey. Look, I am with you 1000%. Fact of the matter is, you are still, what's his name? The guy who stole from Dota?
Well, you had some big news this week. You were the heir apparent to Twitch. You broke records with the subathon. And you have now decided that you are taking your talents LeBron style to YouTube. You were the Twitch guy. You came up without relationships with like the current creme de la creme of Twitch. You streamed every day. You did new and creative things. You farmed LSF. And then you just up and left once you got the bag. That's what it feels like. Is that kind of what you feel like?
Well, if I up and left when I got the bag, I would have left right after the subathon. Kind of been
right.
I would say that this is the public opinion, but I would also argue this is a pretty untrue opinion. So like I feel like I have been called the golden boy of Twitch a lot, you know, and everyone seems to think that I have some sort of relationship with Twitch where I am treated special, but I've never experienced that. I've like felt it from like viewers or maybe myself. I thought like, damn, I made these guys more money than anyone has ever in the history of this website.
True.
But never has that been reflected through my relationship with Twitch.
You know what I think this is, hearing you talk and looking back? They sent Tyler One a trailer once, and you didn't get one, and you were a little upset about that. Do you think TrailerGate could have stopped all this? If they send you one, are you staying?
Look, it's not like it's any one thing. When the camel's back is broke, you don't point to a single straw. But it didn't change even in negotiations, is what I'll say. I've never felt specifically wanted or even well-respected by Twitch as a whole. Not to throw any shade, by the way, to the people I negotiated with. Great people. I know Twitch is a massive conglomerate full of thousands of employees.
Did YouTube make you feel special when they were whining and dining you?
It was like a Disney movie where Dad put his hand on my shoulder and said, "I'm proud of you."
You wept. You felt good and you signed your deal.
I did. I felt so good. And like, I'll give you a little example. All right, I'll peel back the curtain a bit. A little Stanz exclusive.
I love that.
I asked Twitch part of what I wanted in the contract negotiations: the ability to limit gift subs. Somewhat similar to like what I have with Stream Elements. I have Dono Cap, and they actually implemented that feature for me. It didn't exist before, and I saw Pokey do it, and I was like, "That's dope." But I don't have Streamlabs, thank God. So
good for you. Yeah.
Stream Elements, can you do this? They were like, nah. I was like, I'm not signing. And then they were like, okay, we'll do it. And they did it. And that was great. I asked Twitch for something similar, and the answer was pretty much like, that's not really our thing. Like, we'll try, but yeah, it was basically a no. But it feels like when I say, yo, YouTube, I want to do this, they're like, hell yeah, that sounds pog as fuck. We'll see if we can make that happen. They've added a lot recently, and I think they've listened like very well to the people who are currently there, like the Rays and the Courages of the world. So hopefully they listen to anything I have to bring to the table.
That's really interesting. I want to dig into the gift cap a little bit, that being a stipulation. So most of the time we talk about these media deals, we talk about streamers like Ninja or Shroud going to Mixer and just getting a fat upfront payment. You asked Twitch to limit the amount of subscriptions that could be gifted on your channel. That was a big thing. You said you saw it from Pokey, but what made you want to do that?
I wanted basically my income to be driven from advertisers and not viewers. I feel like I have definitely grown past the need to make money from viewers, and it feels like bad. It doesn't like feel great when someone gives me like $1,000 of their dollars. It's like right now I have 27,000 subs, 10% are gifted. It's still a lot of money though. It's like 2,700 gifted subs, which is like, you know, it's like 10K a month. So I want it to be completely advertiser driven. And I know it doesn't make sense from like a financial standpoint, so I can't exactly blame Twitch. But I also thought it made sense, you know, because part of the deal, and I don't want to get into too many specifics, but
of course,
you know, you have to run ads, you know, like Hassan has to run ads at the top of every hour. Like people have Twitch deals run ads. And I was like, all right, well, if I'm going to be running ads on these people who are like trying to watch free content, at the very least, I could curb the amount they spend, and that would be like a good balance. But it's kind of like, nah, you have to, you know, have the cake and eat it too, Matilda style. Okay,
so you're moving from Twitch to YouTube. You talked a little bit about how when you were giving ideas to Twitch, maybe they were a little less receptive. You're going to YouTube, and pre-deal, at least, they seem excited to help you realize these dreams. Does that mean a content change for you as you go to YouTube? Are these things that you've wanted to do? Is there anything you can share? That seems interesting to me.
For like my content, so not really YouTube specific what they're doing, but what I'm doing.
Yeah, like things that you wanted to do and that maybe you had shared and like just weren't as exciting to other groups. Obviously, limiting subscriptions, you can understand maybe why Twitch wasn't. Right. But I'm curious if you've gone from streaming in your room to doing a lot of game shows recently. Like what happens as you hit this next area of the Ludwig stream?
So, couple things. The thing that I'm the most proud of and gives me the most warmth inside is like a cool project. So like a Mogul money, a kickball tournament. And so, you know, figuring out that new shit and like, you know, like a Coinbase commercial or like the commercial that will air when I'm going full time on YouTube. Like those take like a day or two to film, and I can't stream while I do it. And being with YouTube will allow me to do those things without having to be stressed out about like, oh, dude, I'm not live to farm sweet dollar primes. It doesn't matter. And that doesn't mean like I'm just getting the bag and then not streaming. It's more like, let me give you an example if that's cool.
Yeah, of course.
2022, I will make the biggest Smash tournament of all time.
Oh, it's
it will
amazing.
Be the biggest in both entrance and prize pool for Melee and Ultimate. This will probably cost $1 million straight up, just for like prize pool, venue, all that. When I originally was doing the deal, and I was kind of leaning towards Twitch, I was trying to think.
Wait. Speak that you were leaning towards Twitch at the beginning of the deal.
Yeah, I was. Oh. I was leaning towards Twitch for 99% of it.
Really?
Yeah. We can get it at the moment, but
sure. Yeah, go ahead. Finish the Smash Bros.
While I was leaning towards Twitch, I was like, okay, I'll do a subathon. You know, I'll do a subathon, and that's how I'll get the money. And I'll do a different subathon, and I'll have ads. I'll run the ads. I'll make more money, and that's how I'll afford this tournament. And I was like genuinely thinking of giving up a month of my life so I had the resources to throw away $1 million and have it not be stupid. You know, because I can't. I mean, I can throw away money pretty liberally. Like I can throw away 16K on a Jackie Chan statue, but at this point I have like 10 employees, so I can't throw away $1 million and like risk not being able to pay a salary. It's like the worst case scenario ever. I was thinking like, this is psychopathic that I'm genuinely considering doing a subathon just so I can do a cool idea.
Right.
And being with YouTube, it's like I can just do that. That is totally chill. But because I don't have to stress about being live and like trying to make the money, they allow me to just kind of do those projects.
I think the Ludwig who is doing projects is like the best Ludwig, the most fun Ludwig. You talked about Mogul Money or Kickball or even doing the subathon in the first place. I'm curious how the zany sidekick got to Ludwig. I had to say it. So you Yeah, even when I first started watching you, which is like what, 50 to 100 viewers, you were doing like these nuzlocks and banning people, and you always described yourself as like an outsider looking in, even when you got to 1,000 viewers and 5,000 viewers. What was kind of your journey on Twitch? When did you break in? Because I think that if you look now, you know everyone on Twitch, everyone knows you, you're friendly, you're collabing on content, which is so different from how you started. How did that happen, that transformation?
I mean, for the first 5,000 viewers, it was just make good YouTube content and then drive the YouTube viewers to Twitch, which is kind of hard.
Yeah.
And you know, it's just hard to get people to switch to websites. And that was the first like 5K to like 10K, like the 4-digit range. And then the 5-digit range was like, you know, the Pog Champs. The Pog Champs was blowing up. That blew me up. That was like LSF blew me up a bit. And then I was like 10K range. And then it was Lockdown Among Us. And then that was like, bang, 20K. And it felt like stuff just kept snowballing. And I got lucky. I got super lucky. Like, I made a video called YouTube is Skill. And there's some like discrepancies in there. But the Twitch, I think I would have grown. I'm not going to sell myself short. But I would not have grown at the pace I have if like COVID hadn't happened. Or Among Us hadn't come out. Or I hadn't been invited to PogChamps. Or like Connor Eats Pants hadn't been my friend, because Connor's like the one who got me the connections for my first Twitch Jeopardy episode. So it was like these random things that happened and everything just kept kind of growing. I think people just don't spend enough time thinking about what content they're going to make, and they spend time just like making content. But the content, when you don't think about it, is usually dog shit. You know, it's like, yeah, I spent 3 hours on stream today playing Super Auto Pets, but that was all gravy, and none of that will be used for YouTube, and none of that is like what I think of as content. That was like just stream fill hours. So like you know, like a bros versus pros, like a Wikipedia race, like these are like not all me, like they're collaborative ideas that I talked about with like you or Atrioc or whoever. Come up with them, and then like, all right, let's do this. Let's try to get a cooler stream in place.
Right. And then you've talked about YouTube being skill and maybe Twitch being luck. You're driving that YouTube audience to Twitch, and hopefully you can kind of get that cycle where, as long as you are putting effort into some thought around content and not just mindlessly playing Super Auto Pets or Halo or Fortnite or what these other people are playing, you have a better chance of actually hitting that next level there. Do that. Everyone wants to buy a capture card and plug their Xbox in and play Warzone, but they don't really understand. They wouldn't watch their own content, I think, is like the interesting thing about it. And so why would anyone else?
Yeah. And like you can see it just in like YouTubers. Like when Logan Paul tried to Twitch for a bit, I think Logan Paul, say what you will about him.
Oh, hot take alert. So go ahead.
I think
good boxer.
He developed into a pretty innovative content creator. Whether it's your cup of tea or not doesn't really matter. I think he just makes content that is like well thought out on YouTube and on Twitch. Like when he tried that for a while, it was so boring. He was just like playing Fortnite, and then he would throw plates at a wall, and like he was just like, I'll just do what Ninja does. And it was like, there's a lot of context to Ninja that you don't get. What you're doing is way more boring than what you do in VOD. And I think a lot of YouTubers who try streaming are super boring because their entertainment factor often comes from like research, editing down, and stuff that is not entertaining while live.
Do you still have, when I first started talking to you, you were extremely driven about becoming the #1 streamer on Twitch or growing and hitting certain metrics number wise. Is that still the case, or are these new initiatives you're doing, so like Mogul Moves and Mogul Merch? I know that like some people who have helped you in the past, your roommates Slime and Nick and Aiden, now like work for you and you're helping them grow other business lines. When you step back and look at like your goals for the next 1, 5, 10 years, do they look different than they did as a content creator?
Yeah, 100%. That's like the bread and butter. But I think I'm much less motivated by numbers. I think I hit it. I hit most sub streamer of all time. I hit most viewed during a single month, which was hard because XQZ was damn close on my ass.
Yeah.
And I lost it immediately, but I feel great that I hit it. Like I did it. I was there. You know, I went to like it's like I won my Super Bowl. You know what I mean? I don't need to be Tom Brady.
Yeah, you got your one. You don't need to repeat. Yeah.
I got my one, but it's more so creating cool things. Think like a Germa, rather than get more viewers. I mean, but I've also at this point diversified what makes me happy, and it is much less rooted in my personal success, live streaming, or even with my YouTube channel. Like those are obviously still factors, but now there's like additional factors like how my company does, or like how the yard does, or even this bidet I'm working on. You know, it's like these are all additive things that add to my overall happiness. So it's not all based off like just numbers.
It scares me a little bit, and I don't know if it scares you. I'd love to hear you speak to it. But achieving a goal really fucks me up. I always wanted to work in esports when I was younger, and then I did it, and you don't always get that same like sense of fulfillment. Did you have any, did that hit you post subathon? Does it hit you now that you're like signing a big deal with a new company? Do those creative ideas and like that, those desires to want to create new things and help other people succeed drive you still, or did they right after subathon? That's what I'm curious about.
I felt incredibly fulfilled after the subathon. Like it was not like I hit the top. I think a lot of people hit the top, and I think it's very normal, and then be like, like, you know, I worked for all of this, and now what? I'm still not full. Mm-hmm. But I felt fucking full as shit. I was like one of the greatest days of my life. So, you know, but I'm still very driven, and it's like the constant new goals for new projects, you know, not all of which I can share, but you know, like the Smash tournament, I'm gonna make that happen. That's like a big goal of mine, and I'm saying it as if it's fact, but it's not easy. It will be hard. I don't think there's been a tournament that's come close since like Evo 2017. So like 4 years that record's been there for most entrants, and I'll try to beat it. We'll see what I can do.
You have an undefeated tournament record as owner of Mogul Moves Esports. Zane won Genesis, and then you retired. You left into the night. He joined Golden Guardians. You are no longer in esports. Is that something that still interests you?
Winning esports team. That's right.
Yeah. You have a 100% win rate as an esports team. It's very exciting. Is that something you still want to do? This is an esports podcast. I want to talk about it a little bit. Is it something you still sometimes co-stream Valorant, or is it just something that was fun to foray in and you're kind of out of it?
It's not something that I am at all interested in doing at the moment. I am much more excited at running an event than I am at getting players for an event. I feel like that is mainly a money sink, and me sponsoring a player would more so be like because I want to see the player there than me wanting to start an esports team. If that makes sense. It was like Zane doesn't have a sponsor. If you need money to do this, so this is not like a loss for you, I will do it for you. And he was like, I'm down. And then if I'm gonna like pay a guy to do it, I'll do it big. So like I made the custom merch item for him. I got him the Gucci shoes, and it went phenomenally. Zane made me a shit ton of money. He made a shit ton of money.
Yeah, what a way for that to work out, huh? You were just like, oh, I'm just gonna help someone out, and then he wins the tournament. You sell a ton of merch. He's happy. You're happy. He gets a bigger sponsor.
I was tight. So but it didn't start as like, let me be an esports team. And I know Charlie's doing that, but at the moment I have zero interest in that.
We were talking a little bit about you leaning Twitch all the way up to 99%. The final 1% you decided to make, you made the choice to go to YouTube. Why did you do that? What did you mean by the last yard going YouTube?
I'll tell you the story because I imagine this will be my Amazon was started in a garage story.
Okay. I
was incredibly stressed with this decision. Probably the hardest decision I've ever had to make ever for anything. Up until the final hour, there was like hard deadlines set, and I delayed them and I delayed them and I delayed them for like a week. And so I was sitting on this for like 10 days. When I think of Twitch, some people think of me, and when I think of myself, I thought of Twitch. It's like it was like a part of my identity. So it's not exactly an easy thing. So that I'm struggling decisions, right? So what I do is I talk to like everyone. I talked to you. I talked to Atrioc. I talked to Mizkif. You know, I talked to my mom. Like anyone I thought that could give me some sort of insight. And I was still as even as you can get the entire way through. And so I decided I'd flip a coin. And that was how I would choose whether I'd stay on Twitch or go to YouTube.
You decided to flip a coin.
I flipped a coin.
On what I presume is a multi-million-dollar deal and the culmination of your streaming career as it is?
Yeah.
That's hype.
Now here's where it gets interesting. I flipped a coin. It lands on heads, which was Twitch.
Okay, best 2 out of 3.
And I immediately felt this wave of relief because I was very anxious about change.
That's what they say you should do, right? You flip a coin, and when it's in the air, your heart will know what you're supposed to be doing. So your heart was telling you, like, oh, this is fine. Like, okay, I'm staying on Twitch.
Good. I was right. This was great. But the thing is, I really liked the YouTube guys. I like the Twitch guys too, but I really like the YouTube guys. And so I wanted to hop on a call. This is like midnight because the deal was like until 11:59. So we hop on. They're like all bummed out. I'm telling them everything, and I'm telling them about the coin flip. I told them. And they're like, you know, somewhat incredulous, but they're like, okay. And they sit there and they pause. And almost as if it was some strategic decision I had made. On the spot, they wanted me so bad, they just gave me a better deal.
Really?
And the main thing that changed was that I would have more free time to work on other stuff. And so I could work on making another Mogul money, a successor, the Smash tournament, a new Christmas album, whatever. And it would be totally fine. I would not get in trouble for not, you know, fulfilling my deliverable hours of X per day, whatever. And like almost on the spot, I just took it because it's like everything I wanted. Basically it was like completely even, and then they were just like, bump it up.
At midnight, after you just told them that this decision they've been trying to educate you on and give you these good deals about, you flipped a coin, it didn't go their way. I guess I'm not gonna, lucky is the wrong word, but you being a bigger person and going to them and telling them to their face after all the hard work they've done why you made the decision you did, even if it was for a silly reason like flipping a coin, and it is a little bit silly, at least I think you recognize that, got you to the point where they made your life better. Right? They let you do those things. The whole reason that you wanted to take it in the first place, which was to do more cool and interesting things versus be tied down with the minutia of earning money, or like you said earlier, like trying to earn subs or things like that.
Yeah. And the cool part about it is not like only was the deal better, which was great, but also they made me feel like they actually cared about me, which I have never felt from a company I've worked for ever. Like, you know, I worked at Best Buy before. So then I had the exact flip. I really like the guys I talked to at Twitch.
Oh,
so
did you called Twitch after calling YouTube? Okay, go ahead. I love it.
I did the same thing. I did the same spiel, exactly what I did for YouTube. I was told about the coin flip, all that. I walked them through everything.
Yeah.
And at the very end of it, they looked at me and they went, all right, well, you're going to do what's best for you and your family.
Wow. They didn't go the extra mile for Ludwig Ahgren.
Yeah, and it's fine, right? Like, there's 18 loopholes they'd have to go through. It's a mega company. It's not like they can make a call on the spot. But it was like a bummer. It was like, you know, they didn't fight for me, man.
You've become the most subscribed streamer on Twitch. You've done a lot of unique and interesting content. You have theoretically, actually not theoretically, you have brought more money to the platform than has gone out by a long shot. And it didn't seem like they gave you, and like you said, they are nice people, but maybe they weren't empowered to make these decisions. But they weren't able to give you something that would have made it easy to say yes, even though you were leaning towards them. You felt Twitch as like a part of your identity. You were a part of the Twitch culture, and it didn't work out, which is bad for Twitch, and I think good for YouTube. I'm really excited because they're I guess I've been saying this for years. They're like 2 features away from being just way better.
Look, I won't speak to it. I still love Twitch. I'm still, you know, I still work with the people at Twitch. I still love a bunch of streamers who stream on Twitch, and I've no bad blood with them. But I am super excited to be on YouTube because I think it'll just only be hype. It'll be super fucking scary, but I think it'll be good. All I can say is I'm going to continue making cooler content. I think 2021 is my best year, and I think 2022 will blow it out the water. And that's all I can do. And as far as the platforms, I think Twitch is not going anywhere, and I don't think YouTube's going anywhere because they are fucking huge. They're the largest like content platform in the world. So neither's going anywhere. I'm gonna just make better content 2022, and I expect, you know, it will be interesting. It's not Mixer and Facebook, you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, I mean, this is YouTube making a real concerted effort to fight, not even fight, just to try and provide more opportunities to streamers. You'll see like the best of the best variety content on Twitch. People going live, doing interesting things, different games, different reacts, different metas. Whereas on YouTube, it's more of like, I'm staying in my vertical, which for Mr. Beast was the philanthropy, for other people is rock climbing and things like that. I'm curious to see how this evolves in a variety perspective on YouTube. If the people at YouTube are being honest, which I think they are, about providing opportunities to large content creators like you and Ray and Tim and the like, and maybe some in the future. Yeah, I mean, I'm open. If they're willing to write me a check, I'll say it right here on the show. I've been playing hardball with them before, but there won't need to be a coin flip.
The Stanz Show exclusive on YouTube now?
Oh.
Look, I think it's on YouTube now. You know what I mean? Like they have a big talk, and I think they've done a lot. Like they are. It's not crazy to say, still far behind Twitch. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that their UI is dog shit for live. You got to like go to a left bar, scroll down, click it, and then when you're on their explore page, it makes no damn sense. And so like there's problems, but they say they'll fix them, and I believe they will. And so now it's just on them to actually do it.
Hell yeah. Well, like you said, 2021 was great for Ludwig. 2022 will be better, and hopefully it will be better for YouTube as well. Good luck, brother. I can't wait to see you on the platform. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening to that interview with Ludwig. I had a great time, and I am very excited for what he is going to do in 2022. It feels like he already did. I shouldn't say everything, because obviously there's 1.5 million things he could still do, but I have no idea what is coming next, and that is what's the most exciting part, because when he first started, I was like, this guy's not gonna do shit, and then he broke a bunch of records. So now that I think he's actually good, he's either gonna go supernova or back to no viewers, and then he'll be back in the bucket with me, dude. I'm a crab dragging him back in. Before we go, I just want to remind everyone that support for the Stanz Show is brought to you by MANSCAPED, the best in men's below-the-waist grooming, champions of the world. MANSCAPED offers precision-engineered tools for your family jewels. MANSCAPED just launched their 4th generation trimmer, the Lawnmower 4.0. You heard that right, 4.0. Join over 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped with this exclusive offer for you, 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code STANS20 at manscaped.com. Not Stans anymore, STANS20 at manscaped.com. I have learned in buying a lot of shitty products on Instagram and through podcast advertising that they're not all good, but I can, with a clear conscience, tell you that I very much enjoy my Manscaped razor. I think it's done a phenomenal job, no razor burn, and I'm smooth as a linoleum floor down there. So if you want to check it out, make sure you get the Lawnmower 4.0. Tell them Stans20 sent you, because you will get 20% off and free worldwide shipping. Once more, get 20% off and free shipping with code STANS20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com. Make sure you use code STANS20. Unlock your confidence and always use the right tools for the job with Manscaped. See you guys next time. Well, Ludwig, thank you so much. We are recording this at midnight, 1 in the morning. I don't want to take too much of your time. You're joining YouTube. You are leaving Twitch. It is happening now. Anything else you want to say before we go?
That's all I got for you, Kane.
That's all you got? Can I ask you for some advice as we close this down?
Yeah, please.
This doesn't even have to be in the show. I just realized my camera froze and I have no idea when. So it's just me making a dumbass face while you talk. I will think about that because I might need to save this. I hope maybe it froze in like the last minute. That would be so fucking lit.
Scrub through, double check.